switches. I said it's real smooth when it switches.
It's got an awesome clutch and transmission.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like a quick click, and it's, well, you buy a Japanese bike, they all, man, they just know how to do it.
You know, I'm an American guy. I love American-made products, but the Toyota is, the reason I got 2 Toyotas is because they just last. The Japanese knew how to make stuff for people who would just tear the car out of it.
Oh yeah, and that's what they've done with that. They developed that transmission with Honda makes the same thing, and Yamaha and Suzuki.
Okay.
They're all, you will not go wrong. Doesn't matter which bike you pick. I would never go with a Harley because
Yeah.
there's nothing but a money there.
I was about to say, that's why I'm trying to avoid any Harleys. There's a couple Harleys that I like the look of a Sportster, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I can afford it, you know?
Yeah, I know, but you're right. But Kawasaki makes something that competes with a Sportster, and you'll save half the cost.
Yeah, yeah.
Honda, Yamaha.
That's the plan. Is it's as cool as Harley looks. It's all a name. It's all a paint job.
Then it's they're rattling, the oil leaking.
Yeah.
You go buy an oil filter for a Harley, it's going to be about 25 or 30 bucks.
Oh goodness, that's more of my
Because
car.
you can only put a Harley Davidson oil filter on a
That
Harley
makes
Davidson.
sense. Yeah.
My understanding.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that sounds right. I mean, that's how they make money. They make money on parts. They don't make money on bikes. I think I heard a guy say about his hardtail, you know, for every hour you ride it, you got to turn a wrench for 2.
I believe it.
You know? Mind if I do one more down and back?
Help yourself. I just want you to speed.
Yes, sir.
Just dump it, they ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Sure. Okay.
Just be careful.
Yeah. Goal's not to dump it, but thank you.
Yeah, I understand. It happens.
Yeah. Well, I bet. I didn't. Nope.
You dumped that and it died.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and
It died where I wanted it to die.
We learn by mistakes. Right?
All right. Now here's the thing that I really.
turn your wheel a little more. There you go. There you go. Awesome. That's perfect.
That is the craziest feeling.
I know. Isn't that
I
something?
have to teach all 3 of us to do that. I watched the video and taught all 3 of us to do that.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I was the most qualified
Feels good, yeah.
because I was a horseback rider.
Any advice on shifted down? So like I noticed you get about 15 miles an hour.
It's
You got to
time
shift
go to
up.
second.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with that, but how do you
go back-
shift down without it jumping on you? You got to just really let it slow down.
What,
Is it
no.
a sound that you listen for?
Oh yeah.
Well,
pull your clutch in and gear down. But if you're going to let it out and the revs go real high, you've downshifted too soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like a
it'll-
car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like a car.
It jumped a
Well, I like
little on me, but
the feel and the sound of it
Yeah.
all.
I couldn't believe it one time. I was in my dad's truck, and I had been driving it for years. I was like 23, 24 years old driving it. And then there's this big, redneck truck next to me, just loud as could be. I couldn't shift gears to save my life because I couldn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
I never realized how important being able to hear it was.
Yeah.
I just kind of, the more you do it.
Well,
like a-
when you get your own bike and you ride it all the time and you make
Yeah.
mistakes, that's how
Start
you
figuring it
learn.
out.
And then you just, like, I sit there and I do all sorts of stuff and I never look at this bike. I'm like, oh, look at that deer over yonder, and I'm twisting around and I'm floating in the road. I'm like not even turning the throttle, and he's and I'm not having to put my feet down. You just get to
Yeah.
where, like with your car, you know how after a while your car just feels like an extension of you, and you swear
Sure.
you can feel the
You
road
get
through
used to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It happens.
That's the goal.
You
kind
feel
of a-
very weird and uncomfortable when you're learning,
Yeah.
but once you get your own bike and you ride it a couple hundred miles, you're like, hey,
Okay.
this is cool. Yeah.
It's just kind of a feel. I think it's a feel thing, and
It's
it just
a
kind
understand
It's
what
just-
that means. Yeah.
You just have to keep practicing. So
And you know that, okay, say you're riding around the parking lot, you can creep around here, you can shift up, the higher you shift, the faster you're gonna go. So, but at some point you're gonna have to stop, so
Yeah.
when am I stopping? Well, it starts shifting down,
Okay.
you know.
And that helps you slow too. So.
And your bike will tell you.
Okay.
If you shift down too fast, it's gonna wheel.
Yeah,
it'll
Just
complain.
about throw you
and
over
if,
the
if you're
handlebars.
too slow, it's gonna go.
And if it's
you know
too
how a
slow,
car does.
You're right. It'll
You
choke
go,
and
Okay, you'll
sputter out.
Yeah.
That all makes sense. I know. I've felt those noises and sounds. And
It's the same as a car
And
on
you
that.
know, if you're leaving the parking
Yeah.
lot, you need to be. If you hit that stop sign, if you're in third gear trying to leave the parking lot, it's going
It's not going to do it.
yeah.
If you don't
It's
have
not
enough.
gonna do it.
Okay.
It needs to be in first gear to leave that stop sign. It's the better.
Yeah.
The better.
Are your lights on? Did I turn those on? Okay.
They're reflecting in the sun. I'm going to take these and put them in the bag.
Yeah, and thank you so much for the help. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that I just have to really just see it done and then do it.
That's what we're doing out here.
And I really appreciate you helping me with
I
that.
like it. I like to put the hands on it and feel it.
Mechanical hands-on.
You got to.
Yeah.
Like
I
going.
hate those people that they can just see it or
Well,
they can just read it and then they do it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah, that's not me.
I think
that's
they're
wrong.
rare.
You know, I can't do that.
He's so talented, man. Like I was talking to him about the stuff going down with Microsoft, and of course he understood it better than about
Oh.
anybody.
Right.
He
Yeah.
can. He
Now,
can read
Rye
it.
did
and
not
comprehend it.
just read about motorcycles and do it. Doug ended up having to finish the ride home from the dealership.
Yeah,
He
right.
was,
fair
he,
enough.
was,
Yeah.
he had to really practice. Like, Mom, how do I get up to speed? I'm like, go down Old 50 to the old church and back and forth until you just get used to it, and you'll eventually get faster. Yeah, he had some mechanical learning too. He doesn't just,
Yeah. Oh, sure.
he just keeps it silent.
I won't tell him you told me that.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
Yeah.
Superman to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, his deal with computers though is he's
He was hands-on before he went to school for computers.
yeah he can read it and figure it out.
Yeah. But he goes to the computer and does it,
Yeah.
see?
I know he helps me out a lot Sunday mornings. I'm trying to get my kids to do it, but you know, there's just a difference between an adult that
Yeah.
knows what they're doing
Yeah.
and you know my kids who are just doing what I tell them basically.
Right.
Do you think his jacket will be good enough when I ride? If I do
yeah,
my
they-
test, will they take that?
I don't know if you are required to wear certain equipment for the test or not.
I
don't-
think if you
I'll
showed
have
up
to
in
look
that, your
up.
helmet, and your gloves, and your boots,
Yeah.
I think you'd be okay.
Okay.
Now that's what the course required, so I'm assuming that's what they would want whenever you go down.
Yeah.
there
But you know
for
what?
the
You
test.
can always call them and ask them.
They get, yeah. I probably will,
Yeah.
especially before I do it.
That way you
because-
don't waste
yeah.
time and money and end up
Yeah.
getting points off for that.
Well, I don't know. I've just learned that not that DMV people are awful people, but they're not happy people.
No.
They're not very happy
they
at
don't
all.
mind taking it out on other people. Yeah.
I know when I did my CDL test, I failed it, and in Indiana, you had to pay per test.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you did all your written, which, you know, I did, and I had to do my general a couple times because they asked really weird questions, and you never figure out the answer to them. But I got all my written tests done, and I drove all the way up to Indianapolis with me and my Sarah was just an infant, and I failed the pre-trip, which
Aw.
you know they don't even let you drive because you're like, well, you failed the pre-trip, you failed your air brakes, so.
Uh-huh.
But the guy, he was kind of stingy, but he was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. We walked inside, he grabbed a paper. I'm going to walk you out there and I'm going to show you what to do. And then that way, next time you're here, and you could tell he's like irritated because a lot of guys that came through there were like trucker school guys.
Yeah.
So if they got it wrong, they were dummies because
Yeah.
they had spoon fed them. And so, and he was real cut and dry, but, and then the next guy I got, perfect pre-trip, perfect air brakes. I got 1 point off on the parallel parking, you know, which
Yeah.
they give you. Like if you go out of the cones on parallel parking, as long as you can pull up into the spot, you don't